go. We're live.
Tis.
Okay. Well, this is our first episode in our 2024 Halloween series.
That we do every year?
Yes. And we are missing Jay this year. He's in Florida, so we weren't able to catch him.
We're gonna try to get him on at least next week's podcast.
Yeah.
If we can.
We did get a new neon sign, though. Oh, I love it. I feel like the camera doesn't capture the colors quite as
I thought
good
I
as
was
they are.
blocking it for a second, maybe a little bit.
No, it's fine.
But
should be fine. Yeah, I love that sign.
for audio, custom made.
Yeah, for audio listeners, you should check it out. It looks awesome.
I think there would be video on Spotify too.
Yeah, I feel like most people listen. Actually, I know there's Stitcher and
The most people watch on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
There's not many, but there that's for the majority.
Yeah, remember there was like at one point when we first started the podcast, there were so many. There was like something Bubble. I think it was like Red Bubble or something. Or and Stitcher, Buzzsprout had their own thing. There's tons.
I mean, most people aren't going to stuff like that.
Yeah, no.
Everyone's just sticking with the simple thing.
They're just
the simple stuff.
Yeah. I was thinking about pulling up chat. Oh, there we go. There's chat. Someone's here. Casey.
Oh, Casey, what's up?
What?
What do you say?
Perchance?
Perchance?
Oh, perchance.
Perchance.
What was I going to say? Oh, I started, just like before we get into the game, I was just going to say I started, like my Halloween movie stuff.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
that I do
yeah,
every year. But I saw Beetlejuice, which was amazing.
The second Beetlejuice?
So good. Like
I
I'm
still need to
surprised.
watch the first one. I've never seen it.
It's really weird. Like it's just like super strange.
Mm-hmm.
But the new one was like, I don't know, it was amazing. I love stuff like that.
I don't know anything about it.
I don't know, it's weird. It's just weird.
It's a Halloween movie?
Yeah, it's just Halloween weird, Tim Burton to the max. Like,
it's Tim Burton. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I know he like co-produced it or something. I know he made the first one, I think, as well. But it's actually based in Connecticut too, the story.
What? Is it? Do they film in Connecticut at all?
No, they actually filmed in Vermont. But during when Elena and I were at the movie theater, so I was like, that looks a lot like Vermont. And then we looked it up after, and it was.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, so Still Wakes the Deep. This was pretty viral on like Instagram and YouTube. Do you remember that?
For a little bit, I vaguely remember it.
Like, I don't know. I remember it being big for a while.
But when did the game release? Like a couple years ago?
Seriously? I thought it. Whoa! I thought it released like.
Here, let me look it up real quick.
Because I thought some of our games were fairly new.
Wakes Deep release.
Maybe last year, 2023.
June of this year?
Oh, that's what I was thinking. I was like, it has to be
really
fairly new. I mean,
I guess you're right. Actually, yeah, because I remember we were seeing commercials about it last year.
Yeah, but like the reels, like you would, at least a couple people sent me a reel of like, oh, this oil rig game. It went pretty viral.
But it's a Lovecraftian game, which
yeah.
I didn't realize until recently.
The setting is like, it's amazing. It's like, well, I'd say the setting is amazing. The way they execute it was pretty good too. But
we'll get into it later on in the spoiler talk. But
yeah, I mean,
up until the end, it's really good.
Yeah, the basically just like for people who don't know, it's you're basically a dude on an oil rig, and then something happens. I don't know. They drill into. I don't know. I don't want to like spoil it, but
I mean,
how far can you get without spoiling it?
I think we can get to because if you watch the commercials, it shows like the beginning of the game, basically.
Yeah, something bad happens.
So basically, this guy named was it Cass or something like that. He's having family issues with his wife, and he goes to the oil rig to get away from his family. But his wife straight up told him that she'll leave him if he went. So I'm like, I don't get it. But he goes to the oil rig to basically make money for the family. And then they drill through something, which in the beginning of the game, when the guy was speaking to you, the Rennick guy who's in charge of the whole oil rig, he speaks to you and he gets a call saying that there's like an issue with the drill. I don't know if you noticed that. At the
start of the game?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that, no.
He said.
Oh, that's what that was.
They called him and were like, because you walked past the guy by the drill,
and
he's like, and you're like, oh, you're not usually here. He's like, yeah, we're having issues.
I didn't.
And so he tells them to just drill through it, whatever it is, and then the stuff happens after.
Yeah,
that's what starts up the game.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, like I said, the setting was really cool. Let's see. So let's see. Graphics. I thought it was a pretty good looking game.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I recently got that new monitor.
Oh,
the OLED monitor.
Yeah.
The dark areas of the game, it looked so good.
I don't know. I've actually like ever since you got it, I've been like looking at it, but I'm not. I don't want to take the plunge yet.
You still haven't seen it yet.
No, but like after you said you got it, I was like looking at videos and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's.
But I don't know if I want to take the plunge.
It's weird because I have my Aorus monitor next to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's an IPS panel. It's not OLED. And if you look at the blacks from the OLED to that monitor, it looks whitewashed. It's ridiculous.
Crazy. I don't even know. I've watched on an OLED TV before, but like every night I watch on the TV I have is a QLED, which it's not as good as an OLED, but it's close. And I can't imagine. I don't know, like, because the blacks in that seem really, really dark.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't know. I'm like thinking about it.
I'd highly recommend it.
I was
if
talking
you get a chance.
I was thinking about doing it. Like when the next GeForce series comes out.
Oh, the 5000.
Yeah, and then buying that, and then buying the. But it may be smarter.
I mean, I have the same card as you, and it runs.
No, you have a TI. I don't have a TI.
Oh, you have just the 3080?
I have
there's not much of a difference between the two.
I have a 3080 like overclocked or whatever.
Oh, there's not much difference between the two. But like it runs ultra wide games like amazingly well.
Yeah. But needless to say, the game looks great. And actually, I don't even know who the developers are. Are they new?
It's some Scottish team. I don't know who they are.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure this was like one of their first games.
You know what it kind of reminded me of was that one game that we played that was like Cthulhu. It was like the hotel.
Made of Scare?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, not so much. I mean, Made of Scare sucked. I think we played that last year, and we did a podcast on it. But
I mean, I played it on my Steam Deck. I remember.
Oh yeah, me too. No, that was 2 years ago, right? Because we played that in the first year we got the Steam Decks.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure.
2022? I think it was 2022.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah.
But some of the aspects kind of reminded me of that. I don't know. Just like I don't know.
Although it was way more polished.
This one was not Made of Scare.
Still Wakes the Deep was way more polished than Made of Scare. Because I think there was a bigger team. Mm-hmm. There was a decently big team making the game.
Yeah. So
I love the graphics, the atmosphere.
Yeah, the atmosphere was pretty good.
The sound design too.
Oh, the sound design was great.
The sound design was awesome.
Like
you played it on you played the game on your wireless headphones, right?
Mm-hmm. Did you play on your DTs?
I played on my DTs.
Ooh,
it was very nice.
You have the open back DTs?
Yeah.
There's so many things that I wanna. I miss the DTs a lot.
Well, the DTs I got as a gift.
Yeah. So I miss the DTs.
But yeah, they're amazing.
But even with just my headphone, the ones that I had, the wireless ones, like during some of the creature sequences, it was like very impactful. Like I don't want to. Well, there's one sequence where there's a fairly large thing coming at you, and you're around all these like shipping containers. And I don't know if you had this experience, but like when I was in there was a point in time where I was actually being attacked in there, and the whole thing was shaking, and you can hear like the grain of the sands moving, and it was just like I don't know, it just It was
It
terrifying.
was insane.
Yeah. So,
Like also the physics, the water physics.
yeah.
Like
yeah,
the water, we'll talk about the water areas in a little bit, but the water physics were so good.
It might have been more realistic that way though, because
What?
like, like it was slow, like the swimming.
Oh, the slowness
Mega
wasn't my
slow.
issue with
Oh,
it.
okay. You mean like the dashing through the water? Is that what you mean? It was kind of wonky.
The mechanics of everything were just
Yeah.
kind of strange, and sometimes it was just it went on a little too long, I think. But
Yeah, the water looked pretty good, and the atmosphere. One thing I wish that the atmosphere had, or I don't know. I just wish there was more nighttime, because from what I remember in like the promotional stuff that we used to send each other last year was that it was nighttime. And there is nighttime in the game, but
it's towards the end.
it's a fraction, like an eighth of the game is at night. So I wish there was more like nighttime where you're just like. Did I ever send you that reel where the guy was like working on an oil rig and he had like a flashlight and he looked up and it was just like, he turned off the light and it was pitch black just because he was on an oil rig too. But I wish there was more nighttime sequences outside.
Yeah,
I feel like that's really scary.
The daytime was a little, even on my OLED monitor, it was a little whitewashed.
Oh yeah.
At least when you're walking outside.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go inside,
The
that's
inside atmosphere
when
is scary. Yeah.
they did a really good job with the atmosphere, the
Mhm.
graphics of it.
But yeah, definitely the audio, the atmosphere, most of the atmosphere.
Like I wrote a few pros and cons. Another pro is the voice acting and mocap.
Mocap,
Motion capture.
Oh yeah,
Just how the people.
you have that as a pro.
Yeah. Why?
I didn't really. Well, okay, I'm not saying it's bad. I just didn't really like. It didn't stand out to me.
Oh, I thought it was really good. Partially, well, it was also you had the subtitles off, and the game is like people were saying, oh, the game is like for Scottish people because it's most of the people are Scottish. Actually, everyone is in the game, and they have like this slang that they say.
It was very difficult.
It was very hard to understand, but if you had the subtitles on, it told you that like when they said a slang word, it would say the English version of it in the subtitles. So basically, like I understood everything they were saying.
Yeah, I played with them off, and it was. I will say that it was pretty difficult to understand what they were saying a lot of the time.
There's an achievement where there's different versions of the subtitles. If you can have the Scottish version without the
slang translation,
with the actual slang words, and there's an achievement or something if you play the entire game with that slang setting on.
On or off?
Like you can't understand what they're saying if you're not Scottish.
Oh right, yeah.
And so people are mad. People are like trying to 100% the game and like I don't want to.
Oh, they have to play
They have to play the game again just to like get the last achievement.
Yeah,
it's really dumb.
But the mocap. So what are you saying? Like the? Well, I will.
The motion capture.
Yeah.
Like how the NPCs like moved around and.
I'm trying to remember. Like, I don't know.
Like you walk into the main room where everyone's eating. Everyone's just eating their food, and their food is like actually going off their plate.
Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe the fact that I didn't notice it was.
It's like it was super realistic. I don't know if you noticed that. It was really cool.
But the voice acting, I will say, was very good too. Like,
even though everybody in the game had a mouth of a sailor.
Yeah,
there's literally so many swears in it. It's ridiculous.
I wasn't really a fan of that. But the voice acting, aside from that, a lot of your the communication that goes on is via like a phone or like an intercom system or something.
Well, the game takes place in the 70s, I think.
Yeah,
it takes place in the 70s, so you don't have like a cell phone. You
it's on the wall. Yeah,
it's all wall phones, and you can only talk to people on the oil rig.
But it was I thought it was pretty. I thought the inflection and the way they were able to like describe the scenes through their voice was pretty good. but yeah, a lot of the communications over phone. Yeah. So those were pros.
I mean, I would say I put monster design, but like, I don't think it's a monster.
Well, whatever the
it's we
the
can't really get into it
creature-
without spoilers, but
yeah, the creature designs.
the creature
think-
designs are people.
Yeah, think Resident Evil-esque.
Yeah,
Like that is what it reminded me of a lot. But yeah, the designs were interesting. They were definitely horrific.
although it was every single monster quote unquote you ran into was unique.
Yeah.
They all looked different
So,
and
some
gruesome
yeah,
and gross.
Yeah,
and
very much so. Did you notice a mechanic where like I don't know why it did this, but it almost seemed like every time there was a dead body, it like allowed you to like press square or well, I don't know what it was on mouse and key, but to like look at it. And then
I
there
didn't
would be like a little
notice
voice blurb.
I never saw any of that.
Oh, I don't know, it was weird.
Is that a controller thing? Because I played on keyboard and mouse.
It could be. I don't know. It
I
was
didn't.
like
I wasn't able to like
I just thought it was
like a
kind of weird.
soma type of thing where you like go up to the body and there's something that's there.
No. I mean, like, there's nothing on the body, but you can press square, and then you look at it and be like, "Oh man," and you can do it over and over and over. So you can look at it and repeat the same voice line over and over and over.
I didn't see any of those.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know, I
weird.
thought it was kind of weird, but
There was a lot of traversal though,
yeah,
like parkouring and like climbing. In the climbing, I do think they literally. I don't know if they needed to do that QTE stuff they did.
your hand falls. And
Like you hold the climb up the ladder, you need to
Yeah.
hold down the button, and then you need to hold down another button to grab on. But if you let go of one, you fall, and it's like they
Yeah.
didn't really need the QTEs, but
yeah, the quick time events. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I thought the parkour was fine, but the one thing I did have a small complaint, I guess, of is I felt like a lot of the work was like just busy work, and it was a lot of repeat stuff. Like for instance,
well, you go back to engineering like 3 times.
yeah, but also the things that you do are repeated throughout the whole game.
Oh.
Like the fuse box thing.
Oh, where you open
yeah,
the box and then you
take the
pull-
fuse out, you
It's
put
the
the
same
another one, you
exact
look at it
fuse,
and you
too.
put it in. Yeah, it's like
same animations.
stuff like that is repeated over and over and over, which is, I mean, that happens a lot in games, but
I didn't think that was a bad thing though.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't like bothered by it. I just thought there could have been more done there.
Mm-hmm.
But just back on the monster designs, I was gonna say I like the monster designs or like the creature designs, whatever you want to call it, but I was kind of wishing for something else. I won't like go into detail or like spoil it, but for me personally, I kind of wish they went a different direction because like it's hard to explain without spoiling it, but the design choice that they made, I almost feel like was kind of like I don't want to say lazy.
There's like when it comes to like horror games, there's like you might show too much and that might ruin it,
Mhm.
or you might show too little and that might ruin it.
Yeah.
Or if it's in between, it's like it could be good or bad depending on it. This
Yeah.
game suffered from showing too little.
Yeah, way too little. And we're not in relation to the monster designs or like the creature designs that they show up front, like
the creature itself.
yeah.
The
But
main thing.
what I mean is like, okay, so like the things that you're trying to survive from, I wish I'm trying to figure out a way to say this. Like I don't want to say it's lazy because I'm sure they put a lot of time into it, but the choice that they made, I wish it was a little more unique because like it's like very gruesome, but it's almost to the point where it's so gruesome that I feel like it'd be easy to make something gruesome and gross like that.
Yeah.
Like just like make it really gross.
You walk in and there's like a person that's cut in half. Their intestines are sprawled out all over the floor.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
But it's very much it reminds me a lot of like Resident Evil 4.
Oh yeah.
Like with like the fleshiness and the eyeballs and stuff like that.
I'm trying to think if there's another game that's like that.
Scorn.
Oh. The whole game is like
Scorn.
that.
Scorn sucks.
The whole
so
entire
bad.
game is everything's fleshy.
I hate Scorn. Was that last year that we did Scorn?
It might have been the same year as the Made of Scare. I think it was 2022. So I'm pretty sure 2022 we also did the anthology game. Remember we did it the same year as that.
Yeah, that was the cave one, right?
No.
Oh.
There wasn't one last year.
What did we do last year?
I forgot.
Oh, we did we're getting off topic, but remember there was one that we really liked. It was oh my goodness. You were the little kid and you were trying to find your brother or something?
No, not your brother. I think it was your sister.
Oh.
It was the fairy tale one,
that was
Eldritch
good.
Fairy Tale.
Yeah, that was
that
really,
one was
really
sick.
good.
I forgot about that. We also played that on Steam Deck too.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to remember when you play 4 games in a month for like a series like this.
True.
Every time.
What do you want to get back to?
Yeah. What were we talking about? Yeah,
I'm
the
trying to
monster
think.
designs. Well, we can move from the monster designs, but the parkour. We were talking about the parkour.
Oh yeah,
it was good. It was fine.
It was. I did get tired of the parkour a little bit.
Yeah, there was
towards
one part
end.
that I got really tired of. It was like a spiral staircase type thing, and you had to move like the concrete thing up and down.
Oh.
I didn't know how to get back, so I ended up just jumping off one of the platforms and falling down. Like I almost died, but unless you were supposed to do that. But I spent like 25 minutes just wandering around.
Did you ever run into like you see a spot and you know for a fact that you would actually survive the jump, and then you do it, and then you die. There were like 3 spots. There was like there was one by the helicopter. When the helicopter was hanging, there was the ledge on the bottom. I kept trying to jump to it because I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? And then it turns out you were supposed to jump onto the helicopter and then climb up, and the helicopter drops down, and then you could jump. And then same with when the elevator's going down in that room.
Yeah.
There was a spot where you're supposed to move the elevator down a little bit so you could jump onto that and then jump down.
Yeah.
It looked you could jump to it.
Yeah.
And so I jumped to it and I died. I'm like, really? Do I have to go and do this like this annoying thing just to bring this thing down? And then it's just like there were a few things.
Yeah. But the parkour served its purpose. It was fine for what it was.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. You have some cons. Yeah, the swimming sections were not the best. They were for me. It was like very slow. Like
it got annoying because there was that one section where the water is pushing you, and you had to like hold down right click, go forward, and then on the sections you need to like push yourself out. It just wasn't working for me.
Yeah.
So I kept falling back and then getting some air and then going back.
Did you drown?
In. No.
Okay. I felt like he was able to hold his breath for a long time.
It was a while. But I just kept doing it, and then I finally was like fed up with it. I'm like, I looked it up. People were like, yeah, you have to angle your camera a certain way. I'm like, how am I supposed to know that?
Yeah. It was a little wonky. Like there's the part you're talking about with the water rushing towards you. There are these like yellow bars on the bottom, and you have to grab them and dash. But yeah, you had to like, if you look directly at them, it wouldn't show the prompt.
Yeah, you have to look straight at it, or else it wouldn't actually let you do it.
There was times where I almost drowned a couple times, but yeah, the swimming parts were. I mean, they were okay. I wasn't like annoyed really.
There was that one section towards the end of the swimming area where it's the you fell, but you're supposed to fall.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
And then I was just sitting there, and nothing was happening, and I'm like, what? Because the thing was popping up on my screen, and I'm like, am I just have to wait here?
Yeah.
And then I finally just kept clicking W, and then my guy went out of the water. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It's so random.
I know, I had the same thought. But what was I gonna say? let's see, the swimming. Oh, what maybe, I don't know if this is. I don't want to ruin anyone's expectations. I just wish they would have done more with the swimming.
Yeah.
Something scarier with the swimming, I'll say.
Or like something in the water.
But that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, something in the water. Because there was times where I was like in the water and I was nervous, or I got kind of scared because it's so dark.
Yeah.
I was like, is there something in here with me? But
no, it's not the creatures. It's the water itself.
you
see, the water, you could drown in it, so it's scary.
That guy he would have died from something, like from the oil or something.
He was literally swimming through oil.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you supposed to, like, how you see?
Yeah.
You have your eyes open under the water with oil? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
There was also this mechanic during the game that, I don't know, I guess it's fine. It happened, I think a total of 3 or 4 times. But you had to like go up to a heater, turn it on, and then warm yourself up really quick. But then that was it. I don't know. I feel like they would have used that for like maybe a conversation piece or like maybe some insight into.
Or they could have done like, you got to keep yourself warm or else you might freeze to death.
Maybe that's what they were thinking.
And then they took that out and then they just like, I don't know.
Well, there was a part where I actually walked past the heater, and then I was like, I tried to open the door.
Oh, you had to go back to the heater and then heat yourself up. Yeah, I had the same thing.
But I mean, it wasn't like a bad thing. I just thought it was kind of like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were thinking about doing something with it, then they ended up not doing something with it.
Yeah. Or I was like, there could have been like a meter or something, because what is it? You're out. What is it? Is it above Scotland? So it's like not below freezing. It's probably like 30, 40 degrees outside.
You would have died in that water.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
He like towards the beginning. I mean, it's kind of spoilery, but he fell in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the first things that happened in the game. He falls in, and I don't know how he got out.
Yeah.
But
yeah, how did he get out?
Apparently the people got him out, but I'm like, how?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Other people fell in the water and they died, so some plot armor, I guess.
Let's see what else. Oh, so I guess we can talk about the ending, but maybe we do like spoiler ending, and then I think we usually do a spoiler, right?
Well, how is there a non-spoiler ending though?
Well, we could just like summarize like how we felt about the ending without like saying what happened.
Oh, I see.
'Cause I know you didn't like it. I mean, I didn't like it either. Really. Well, it
wasn't bad.
It was mid.
It was just like, it was disappointing. Mm-hmm. That's more the word for it.
We were left wanting more, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the game's short, which I'm actually fine with because I don't want to be playing a 30-hour game.
Oh yeah, one thing. So this is spoiler. This is a spoiler, I guess. Actually, yeah, it is. But you have a friend on, or most of the people on the oil rig are your friend, but there's one in particular. His name is Roy. Is that what his name was?
Oh, you're gonna? Maybe we save it for the spoiler section.
I thought this was a spoiler section.
Well, I was gonna I was gonna summarize it so people.
Okay. Well, summarize it first, and I can go over that.
I'll say this. For me, I think it was like, or for those who don't want to say it's a spoiler, here's what I'll say. I think it was a good game. I don't know. It's just like it was in the middle. I say.
I think it was great up until the end. That's my thought.
I don't know. I guess I'm being unfair because I kind of was hoping for a different style or a different like Cthulhu type, I guess, than what we got.
Like a Cthulhu comes out of the water.
Wow, it doesn't have to be like that.
I know,
but just something different. But I would say it's a good game. I'd say it's a good game. Like if I were to rate it like 1 out of 10 or something, it'd be like
a 7 or 8.
Yeah, like a 7, I'd say. And it was. I mean, the setting's creepy. The setting's cool. What other game are you on an oil rig on? I mean, I'm sure there's probably one, but
yeah.
And for some reason, this game made me want to play the Iron Lung.
Iron Lung is nothing like.
Well, I know, but I mean, like the watery, like.
Oh.
I don't know. Something about it, like made me want to play it.
Yeah.
But for me, I'd say it's a good game.
Yeah, same for me.
What was it? It's like $30.
I think so.
Would you pay $30 for it?
30, 35.
Well, because we shared it with the Steam.
Yeah.
Sharing, what do you think?
No, I'd pay like
15
for it.
maybe
yeah.
20. I might pay 20 for
maybe
it.
50. I'd pay 15 for it. Like if it was on sale and if it was 15, I'd be like maybe.
Yeah. I think sadly though it's going to probably it's so recent, and to be honest, I haven't really heard anything about it. Like a couple things. I saw the videos that we watched actually, because we watched a couple of lore or explanation videos afterwards.
They're pretty interesting,
and they had like millions of views. So people are like watching it. I don't think it's like.
But I think more people are watching it instead of playing it.
Yeah, I don't think it's not on par with like Soma or BioShock or.
You're never gonna beat Soma.
Yeah.
Soma is like the peak of horror games.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
it's no Outlast. But it's still pretty good. I think it's you know what? It probably falls within the range of like Call of Cthulhu. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the game.
Yeah,
because like that's a pretty okay game, right?
I don't know.
Or do you like this better?
I think I might actually like Call of Cthulhu better.
Oh, okay. Well,
Still Like So Deep.
Yeah, but like that category of like. People
like
will likely find it on a sale.
It's like the middle tier of horror games.
Yeah.
There's like the dookie garbage.
Yeah.
Then there's like the middle tier, which
is
in
a
between.
Big middle tier. There's a
mixed.
lot of games.
It's like it's good. It's not good. It's not bad. And then there's like the top tier,
which are like Outlast, Soma.
Yeah.
Resident Evil.
And it goes right in the middle.
Yeah. So it probably wouldn't be like the first thing people think of, but people would probably find it on a sale or
they might get it in a bundle of games from like Humble Bundle.
Yeah. That's crazy that it came out so soon, so recent.
I thought it came out last year.
I feel like I thought it was. Yeah, I think I
super
thought the same
recent. Thing. It's like it's like less than 5 months old.
You said June?
June, yeah, June, July, August. Yeah, like 5 or 6 months.
That's crazy. I think all our games this year are like this year releases, or
I think so.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's a good game. But yeah, I think
if you are thinking about playing it, and you want something that's like amazing and super long.
Oh, it's short.
Then it's not the game for you, I guess. But
it's like 4 hours.
Around there.
That's crazy.
I threw on Net Limiter, so I don't know the exact time.
Yeah.
So at least
actually, I don't think I did.
I have like 3 hours in it, I think, but I threw into the Net Limiter on like an hour before I beat it, so I think it's around 4.
Oh yeah, I'm signed into Cubold. Yeah. So it's really short. It's pretty good. I don't think it's like an incredible story. It's not anything game changing. It's actually pretty standard in terms of story.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like how many other games do something similar? But the setting is cool. The atmosphere is cool. All right, you want to jump into spoilers?
Yeah, we can do spoiler talk because I want to mention that Roy thing.
Yeah.
So as I said before, there's a guy who's like almost like a godfather to his daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And he's on the rig and he has diabetes, and like you do like talk to him a couple times, but like not to the point that you're like that you care about his character.
Yeah.
Like it's an interesting character, but like this is kind of the same with most of the characters on the oil rig, but spoiler, everyone dies on the oil rig.
Yeah.
Everyone. Nobody survives. So, but they make a big deal about, or when certain people die, like especially Roy, because he can't get his insulin. Mm-hmm. Later on, you try to take his insulin to him, but he dies before you get a chance to give it to him. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay, I mean,
yeah,
he's dying, sure.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't care for the characters.
Yeah, Roy was supposed to be like this big character, or he was supposed to be like really important to the main character, but you only see him maybe 2 to 3 times.
Well, 4 times. So,
well, if you go back,
first time you go to the place, you go to him again, you leave, go to him again, you leave, and then you find him dead.
Yeah.
So 4 times.
But it's very, very like brief conversations. I don't even think anything was like. I mean, it was just like, I don't know. It just wasn't really a developed character. And then the death sequence for him was so. It was supposed to be like emotional. I don't. I feel
Yeah.
like does this happen frequently? Because I feel like we always talk about how deaths aren't impactful in horror games.
It's because they don't give reasons for you to care about the characters.
Yeah.
They don't like. I don't know how they would do it, but it just was not impactful.
I'm trying to think of another game that I feel like we've had this type of like conversation. Oh, well, I was gonna say maybe the anthology games, but
yeah, but those people are supposed to die. In
yeah,
those.
that one's a little different for that. But yeah, so his death was not impactful. I didn't really care for his character.
I did in Brody's death. So basically, there's another guy that you help, but you did stuff with him. Like you went around and completed objectives with him and stuff like that. So his death, you are on the phone with him later on, and he gets stuck somewhere, and he's like, he's saying that the main character needs to get back to his family, he needs to get back to his kids, and he was genuinely caring about the other people on the rig. He didn't care. He was like selfless almost. He kind of gave up his life to make sure that the other two could get off.
Yeah,
which they don't.
Yeah,
but that one was actually impactful.
Yeah, there was another one that was this other lady, and she ended up kind of going bonkers and like at the end and like ran away from you. So you chase her down, and then she's so lame that she like died by this thing falls
Crane
on her.
fell on her.
Yeah, and like I don't know, it's just so pointless. Like you didn't have to, like she was just doing too much, but that wasn't impactful either. I don't know. I like the characters are just forgettable.
Actually, before we get any farther, we should probably mention about the
Creatures?
creature itself.
Yeah.
But basically, as I said before, they got a call to that they needed to drill through something. They're having issues drilling, and they drilled through like some sort of air pocket or something, and it let out like an ancient. They called it in Lovecraftian lore. It's like an ancient one, I think.
It's actually Lovecraft.
It's a Lovecraftian creature.
It has a name.
It's called it's an ancient one. The ancient ones are like ancient creatures, like Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. But basically, we were watching a video about like how this creature might have been under the water, and how like underwater creatures just look kind of strange and in like alienish, I guess. And this ancient one is the one that turns the creatures underneath the water into what they look like. That's why they look so like
I didn't
creepy.
know that. See, that's the game doesn't. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say the game doesn't tell you that, but then again, there's a balance. Like sometimes you don't want a game to like explain everything to you.
Sometimes there's too much or there's too little.
So but that's actually really cool. Yeah,
but yeah, this creature is kind of just like an organism. It's not like something specific. And what happens is that they break through, and then the organism like infects the entire oil rig. And whenever someone gets infected, their body just morphs into like flesh. And and their face still is there, but their body is just like morphed into whatever.
So, well, yeah, and there's also like one of the Redrick, is that his name? Reddick. He turns into a giant head, actually. Yeah, he's like a giant head, and he chases you for quite a
most of the people, everyone on the oil rig that is like trying to kill you is someone that the main character knows. Like there was somebody on the oil rig, like they were saying like, oh, that's Derek. Oh,
yeah.
that's I'm trying to think of a Scottish word. I was gonna say John, but John isn't.
Someone could be named John.
I don't know, but they were all like people that he knew.
Yeah,
which is kind of terrifying.
I think the scariest creature, or like the most impactful one that I remember, is the one that was outside, the tall one, with like the long. It was basically like his body was like flesh blob, whatever, but then he had these long like I don't know what you call them, like they're like spider legs. And that's what I was talking about before, where when you're in the container, it's like super loud.
Yeah,
when he like steps on the container and stuff.
I think the scariest one for me, I'm not saying that most of this stuff was scary. It wasn't really that scary.
It wasn't that scary. No.
But the most intense creatures that I was like running into in the game were when you had to run away in small spaces. So like there was one where you're running through a hallway away from, I think, Rennick. Then there was another one where you were trying to get to Roy for the first time, or seeing him after that thing happened, and the thing's running after you. And then there's another one in an air duct.
Yeah, I remember that.
That one was, I think,
because you're crawling so
creepiest.
slow, and he's right behind you.
But the sound design makes him right behind you. So it's like, you obviously it's scripted, but it's pretty creepy.
I think that probably is where the game shines most in terms of like the scary factor.
The claustrophobia.
Yeah, it's running through corridors. You know, you got to when like there was one part where you're running from something, and I think you had to crouch through like a door, but I might have missed it at one point.
Oh, so
you know, like,
died?
There was like a hole in the corner of the door.
Yeah,
yeah. So stuff like that, I think, is where the game shines. But the creatures, this is what I was trying to say before. Is like, I think they're scary, and it's obviously like horrific. But I almost wish that there was something different done, and it's like it doesn't even have to be this game. I just want a game where it's like, I've been watching some people play Alien Isolation recently, and that is like, it's like terrifying. The alien creature,
because the AI is super smart.
Yeah, but it's also just like it's just a terrifying tall creature, and it's not like
it's not a human.
The flesh horror gets to a point where I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, it's gross.
Like
but
Scorn level.
Yeah. But, like, I felt like that in this game where there was a lot of eyeballs and disfigured heads and
organs. And
organs everywhere.
And testes. And there's
testes?
No. Whenever there's like giant mounds of flesh and they have like veins in it.
Oh.
Every single time I saw it, it just looked like a giant testicle.
So
I'm
gross.
like, it's so gross.
Yeah, that I feel like at a point it gets to the point where it's like, it's just a lot. It's just like flesh. It's like, okay, flesh monster, giant, bubbly flesh thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like Rennick's giant head. That was scary because he's a giant, head with like, yeah, it was creepy.
He was like a fish.
Yeah.
Well, that was another reason why people, or that I don't know if it's a theory or if it's like real, but the ancient one underneath the water that changed, because some of them looked like, in a way, they looked like creatures underwater. Like the giant head Rennick, he kind of looked like a fish.
Yeah.
And then another one kind of looked like a crab, the one that was crawling
on
the floor.
Yeah.
And then another one kind of looked like a blowfish, the guy that was up on the top of the oil rig that would float.
Yeah. And
he had like the spikes coming out of him. Like they all looked like sea creatures.
Huh.
So it's like,
that's actually interesting.
It's kind of cool. Like that theory is like, in my mind, it's true.
Yeah, that's cool. The creature itself, I don't know if you ever get to really see it, which I kind of was hoping that we would at the end or something. I don't even know if it's it's just like
it's like an entity almost.
Yeah. You see like parts of it breaking through the oil rig and stuff, and it's like this like skin thingy. At one point even the colors like out in the outside area, the colors, like the sky was pink and blue and stuff. It reminded me of In Sound Mind.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It was also towards the end. It was like distorting gravity. Remember?
Yeah, the stuff floating around it.
Yeah, I was like, how? I mean, I get it. If it's like an ancient one, it does that to people. Then
yeah, how does it distort the gravity?
I'm like, this isn't. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Unless it had.
I mean, it was cool to look at. Unless
it's so big, it has its own gravitational pull, and that's how.
I don't know.
But like,
I mean, it looked cool.
Yeah,
maybe that was
sick.
The point. It was like just a cool scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of wish there was a little bit more, like, I don't know.
But the ending itself, though.
What when you? Oh, right.
So when the lady was going crazy, and she ends up getting killed by a crane, but she was on her way to throw a lighter into the heart of the creature almost.
Right, and where the drill was, where all the oil
the drill,
was.
it was going down, and it was just like fumes of oil, and it was very explosive. So like just throwing a lighter down there will just blow up the entire thing. So their main goal was to just destroy the creature. Don't care about anybody. And he pulls the lighter out, throws it down, boom, everything explodes. And then there's like an end credit scene, and then boom, the game is finished.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I mean it's Cthulhu, so like I don't think there's usually any happy endings in Cthulhu stuff, right? Like even Call of
Cthulhu is the ending is like
you just shouldn't expect a happy ending with these types of games. Yeah. But
did you play Call of Cthulhu?
No, but I've seen a full playthrough.
Oh, okay.
I know what happens at the end, or the various different endings.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was just like not really that satisfying, and plus, I'm not even convinced that he killed the creature. Like
no. Well, I was seeing some people were saying like, what if it had, like this would actually make the game a million times better for me. What if they had a Resident Evil Village ending to it? Like spoilers for Resident Evil Village, but
wait, Resident Evil Village.
Remember at the very end, the military team pushes the Megamycete.
Yeah.
And goes and kills it, pretty much. What if they had a he blows it up, explosion, it backs out of the oil rig, and then it zooms in on a boat heading to the oil rig with a bunch of military men on it, and you go and like explore the oil rig as like a military guy, and like you kill the creatures with a gun.
That would have been awesome.
Like,
oh, that would have been really cool if you can kill the creatures with a gun.
Yeah, like the military gets there finally, and then you take
like a DLC.
No, just like the end of the game.
Oh, if it would have ended that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have made it way better.
It would have like gave closure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a quick ending, and I feel like it probably was. Maybe they. I don't know. I was gonna say maybe they didn't know like what to do, so they're just like, let's just kill everyone, and then end it.
Yeah, I mean, they were all probably gonna die anyways. Even if he got back to the mainland.
Yeah, it would have been some.
It would have been like the end credit scene. He looks down at his hand, and then it like something comes out of his hand or something, and then boom, the credits.
I mean, I guess we just have to like expect Cthulhu-esque, because nothing happy. There's no happy endings in the Cthulhu stuff, so it's like that's almost how it has to end. Because one of the things with Cthulhu is like these creatures and these beings are so old and powerful. There's just no hope. Like the scary part is there's no hope against them.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of, I don't know, but it didn't give you any like explanation as to whether the monster lived or if it died.
Yeah, it ended with an end credit scene with him and his wife in like a dream sequence. But nobody cared about that aspect of the story.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like a.
I'm not even sure what that was supposed to be. Like.
It was supposed to be like.
Oh, is life flashing before his eyes?
No, I'm pretty sure they said it in the video, but it was supposed to be, at least this is what they think. His wife is sleeping peacefully in the bed, and then he gets up and then, like, heads to the. Actually, I guess it is the life flashing before his eyes, because he gets up and says like. I'm sorry, and then he's heading to the oil rig or something. Maybe it was his life flashing before his eyes, but at that point he's dead.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess it was a pretty good. It was an okay game, but
I just didn't like the ending. It just could have done more.
I think they could do a lot though. Like think of what if this is kind of this development studio's lane, they could. I mean, their next game could be like 10 times better if they take what they learned from this one. I'm looking forward to
whatever they make next.
And I'm not even sure what they made prior to this. Like, I'm trying to think.
I'm not even
Imagine
sure
they made Made a Scare.
Team is. No, they didn't.
Who made a Scare?
It's not the same company. Actually, I imagine it is.
Who made Still Wakes the Deep? I mean, honestly, kudos to them for making this game so. I mean, it was pretty like viral at one point.
I think it was because of social media marketing.
Yeah, but like people were talking about it, like oil rig. Like I don't know, it's just scary.
I don't know. At least on like people doing playthroughs and stuff, people were kind of disappointed with the game. But I think it was partially because of the length.
Yeah, it's short.
It's very, very short for the price.
They could have done more if it was longer. Yeah. So they have it actually has a very positive on Steam.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not a bad game. It's a good game, but it's just short, and I just don't think it's like extra special aside from the atmosphere. Let's see, what did they make? It's called the Chinese Room.
The what?
The development studio is called the Chinese Room.
A Chinese Room from Scotland? That's hilarious.
It is. Their site is a UK site. They made Dear Esther, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Oh.
What's Dear Esther?
No, I've heard of Dear Esther, but Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is like
Is it actually a Rapture game?
Yeah, I think so.
Bloodlines 2, The Masquerade. They
Really?
made that?
Well, at least Everybody's Gone to the Rapture was a PlayStation exclusive for a bit. Then they put it on PC. But apparently it's like people say it's a walking simulator, but the story is really good.
Wait. Oh my goodness. They also made so you remember how Amnesia?
Did they do Machine of Pigs?
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
So
I thought that was Bloober Team.
I don't know, I'm seeing on Google now that it says
What is Bloober Team?
I think Amnesia what's up, Sammy? I think Amnesia designers.
What did Bloober Team do?
Well, I'm pretty sure a Machine for Pigs was kind of like what Dark Souls did, like with Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, it was a different company, a different developer.
Oh, so it was Frictional Games, The Chinese Room, and Blitworks that made that.
Oh, so they helped. Okay.
Yeah. So what's Everybody's Gone to the Rapture? What is that about?
I'm not 100% sure. All I know is that it's a walking simulator and people actually like it.
Oh, okay.
That
seems like a really interesting, like, if it's actually about the rapture, like that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, yeah. So I think they could do a lot, honestly. Like, they obviously have a lot of talent. So, and if this is their lane, like Cthulhu-esque.
I hope that I want more Cthulhu stuff.
Yeah.
I love Cthulhu, like that Lovecraftian world. It's so cool.
We still need like a really, really, really good Cthulhu game. Like Call of Cthulhu was good, right?
But but it was a little dated with the graphics.
Yeah.
But the gameplay itself and like just like the story were really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Do we have anything else?
I mean, it pretty much covers everything.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously if you made it this far, you already know what happens.
Yeah.
But if you can get the game for pretty cheap, go for it.
I mean, you could honestly, if this is like your type of game where you like, I mean, it's short. Like, I mean, 4 hours short. It's short. But this, I mean, the atmospheres. I mean, there isn't a game like it. It's just it's very unique in that way. But you know, it's not. I wouldn't be expecting anything crazy with story. So like, it's $30 now, and I can see a lot of people buying it. I mean, it's very positive on Steam, so people are really happy with it. But for us, yeah, I think $15 would probably be like the sweet spot.
Yeah.
For this one. So. Okay. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for our first episode of our Halloween series. Next
one's gonna be, I think it's called Reveal.
Yeah.
Reveal.
Is that the one with the guy that plays as Hopper or no?
No. That's third week.
Reveal.
This is the psychological horror one with the small development team, but people say that the game is really good.
Oh, I gotta watch some videos after.
But it looks pretty cool.
Cool. All right.